Good news. You don't have to be any more creative. You're good. You have enough to start. I'm giving you permission now if you need it. I'm not saying that you don't have any problems that you have to overcome. I'm just saying that being creative is not one of them.
If you're trying to start a YouTube channel, brace for impact here, but it's not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to be a success at all, probably, at least for a very long time, unless you truly are some prodigy.
I've met a lot of creatives in my time here on this earth, and I gotta say, their problem was not being creative. Their problem was like everything else.
It's easy to get this survivorship bias with YouTubers who are just like, oh yeah, follow your dreams, just make videos, dude. That's a very rare case, and they're blinded. You know, they don't know what they did right. They don't know what they did wrong.
I've been making videos since I was like 7 years old, all right? I always wanted to make comedy videos. I always wanted to find creative ways to make people laugh, and I did that through many years, many different channels, many different identities.
It took me 8 years, boys. 8. To get to the point where people actually cared about my videos. If you think getting into YouTube will be a breeze and you'll be amazing from the start and get 50,000 subscribers in a day, you're just misguided.
You're good on the creativity. You can just start. What are you even gonna do with more creativity anyways? Have more things you can talk about with your friends and never actually do?
You continuously procrastinate on your goals. You never say what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it. And so self-trust goes hand in hand with discipline.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
You show yourself that you love yourself and you take your self-care at such a high priority by saying what you say you're going to do, by keeping your promises to yourself, and that needs to be a regular habit.
It's not enough to just be creative internally or just have ideas internally. You actually have to make them happen.
Because you know you want to do this stuff, right? You know you want to make videos. And when you're making a video, you have this image in your mind of what you want it to be. The first few years, the first fucking decade of making videos, you're going to be in this phase where you know what you want your videos to be, and it's just not there yet.
The 400th thing you make will be mind-altering and world-shaking. You just won't get there if you're too precious with the idea, so precious with it that you'll never make it real.
And that's the hurdle you got to get over, man. You need a kick in the ass to get you over that hurdle.
Your inability to talk about your idea in fear of it being stolen is probably what you should be worried about, you know, not being able to articulate it. How are you supposed to make your idea real if you can't articulate it, even to yourself? Could it be you don't want to talk about it for other reasons? Maybe it's because you can't articulate your idea yet, even to yourself. And if you can't even articulate it to yourself, how is anyone going to steal it? I can't steal blah, 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 blah. That's not even an idea. Maybe it's because
like, oh, I want to do something like this. I want to try this. I want to dip my toes into every single field possible. But I'm at the point where if I think it through a little bit more, it just doesn't make sense for me. I think everyone who does make content goes through bouts like this where you don't exactly know what you want to do.
Half the time, I'm just like, man, I suck. Why can't I do this? I have an idea that I want to do, but I don't have the motivation and the ambition and the energy to do it. Do I even want to do this stuff?
What do I make? What do I make? I don't know. I'm fully aware that my videos are extremely niche. That's the thing, though. I don't know how to expand my horizons. I don't know what I'm supposed to be making that would be less niche, you know?
What I've spoken to a lot of YouTubers about already is this, right? You want to be remembered. Let's just say you enjoy reading about history, for example, right? People don't want to watch a video from a guy who just regurgitates information he read in a book. What are you offering? What are you bringing to the table to make the experience of watching your video that is just stuff you read in a book more enjoyable than actually reading the book? And that stuff right there, that is your voice. And you have to work, and it's constant. It's a constant battle to develop that and to make it loud and visible, right? That's what it's all about.
We all have to start somewhere. I wasn't confident in my speaking ability either. I didn't know where to use emphasis. I was muttering things. You can't just download Premiere Pro and be amazing from the get-go.
And you put out a video and you see immediately what you could have done better. And that sucks, right? There are still videos I look back on with disappointment and contempt. Even parts of the most popular videos I've ever made, I look back on and I'm like, oh, I would have done this differently if I had some more time, or if I knew back then what I knew today.
To be fair, reality does do bad things to your idea, okay? It's perfect in your head, and when it's real, it's going to be very imperfect in a lot of ways. And that's fine, because that's where all the value is. Making it real.
Think about that for a second. What does that mean when you have a video that you know can be better? That means you have good taste, right? You can recognize what in your video needs to be changed, and you can do it next time, and make that step. And that is literally what improvement is. Even today, sometimes I'll see a really good commentary video, for example. Some guy just sitting in front of a camera reacting to something. I'll be like, I can fucking do this. I want to do this. I want to make a video as good as that. Sometimes you'll see something that's so inspiring that you really want to, like, imitate it.
Your content right now is funny, Carson, but what I'm saying is it's hard for people to find based off of the outer shell.
I'm aware of this. Thank you, Raccoon. The
I
thing
just
I'm
want to
saying is
drill that into your head one more time.
I don't know how to get it out there. I don't know what to make.
Get it out there!
Just do it! You gotta believe you can do it! Don't worry about it! She don't believe you can do it! Don't worry about it! He don't believe you can do it! It don't matter if they don't believe you can do it! You gotta believe you can do it! What are you waiting for? Do it! Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible.
The person that can pluck their ideas from the ether and then materialize them into a communicative format for other human beings is someone who is literally making their dreams come true.
What is the cost of not pursuing this thing? What is the cost of giving up on your dreams because you are afraid that you might fail? That cost is huge. It is a life full of regret.
You need to set goals, knowing the journey is going to be an absolute mess, and you're going to love every single second of it, because the more difficulties and the more failures you experience on a daily basis, the closer you move towards achievement because of the wisdom gained in that process.
The biggest goals we set for ourselves are always going to be the ones that seem the farthest away, or like the most impossible to actually do. In my case, that was becoming a YouTuber. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber, right? Nobody actually gets there, you know? Because it's very easy to think about starting a channel, to edit the first video and to feel like you're on your way. That's what I thought it would be like too back in the day.
Remember, every single successful person in the world has more failures than they do successes.
You want to live with that hanging over your head for your entire life? Is there something you'd like to do, but you're afraid that you won't be successful at it? So instead you decide not to try so that you don't have to be judged on that thing?
And a week ago, I woke up from a dream that made me make this video. This dream was very long, one of the longest I've ever had. In the dream, I quit YouTube and Twitch and decided to move on with my life. I moved back to New York, my hometown, and did a job that I didn't care for. And years passed of me doing this forgettable job and just getting by. I remember not thinking too much about my past. I was just living in this dream, and I didn't feel alive at all. Those years that I spent doing this forgettable job was all a blur. I don't even remember right now, and they were very detailed in the dream. And towards the end of the dream, I recalled my old channel and what I used to do. I decided years later to upload a random video, just saying hello. And when I uploaded the video, no one was there. No one watched it or commented. There was nobody saying hello whatsoever. There was no interaction at all. And the dream ended with my older self swelling with regret of time wasted.
Don't be that guy.
Be afraid of never making your idea.
Be that guy that goes out and makes something happen. Do not fail to try because you're afraid of either being measured on your failure or because, you know, you might have these regrets. No.
Yeah. Maybe it's because you're afraid of how others will react to your idea. Maybe they won't like it. Maybe they won't be as excited about it as you are. Or maybe it's because you actually want to make your idea instead of yapping about it endlessly. And if that's your instinct, that's a good instinct.
When you flip your perception to that, and you're going about your day, and you're coming across these hurdles, and it's not as easy as you thought it would be, all of a sudden you go from, oh my god, I'm not meant for this, to, oh my god, I'm making progress.
Go out there, give it your full effort, make it happen, because if you don't, then you have to live with who you are. And who you are, if you don't go out there and make things happen for yourself, is a guy that you don't love, is a guy that isn't the best version of you that you can be.
What they didn't see was the ugly, the years worth of videos that fell flat, that sucked. They didn't see the constant improvement and learning and growth that led you to where you are now. They only saw the ice cube one day and a puddle the next. And boys, it's not the luck that got it there.
The creatives who don't create. It might be time to recognize that if you are a creative, but you don't create, maybe you're not actually a creative. Maybe you are delusional. If despite all of this, you still think you need to get more creative, guess what? Good news.
And this is something I really believe, is that your competition is not that steep. If you can even try a little bit, you're like in the top 10%. That's still not enough, by the way. You have to be in the top 0.1% of the top 10%. But you keep going, and you realize most of these artists are not particularly good.
You already have an idea you want to make. By the time you finish that one idea you will have 3 or 4 more ideas of equal or better quality. That's how this works. That's how this has always worked.
If you want to make good art and be recognized for your art and make a living off of your art, it's possible. It's specifically possible because the vast majority of people aren't going to try or think about it at all. In fact, they're actively going to try not to think about it. They're going to like run from their own desires and try to drown out their thoughts with stimuli.
You have to stop making decisions based on your current life experience and instead stop pursuing the goals and routines of your ideal self. It's the only way you'll actually become them. Your past has no business here. It didn't get you to where you wanted to be, so why are you still focusing on it? Nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to take a different route. In order to get something different, you have to completely shift what you've been doing so far. Would your most successful self be complaining all day? Asking for a break? Wishing they didn't have to work? No. So why have you?
But the one thing that's holding you back is that hurdle of self-doubt, not believing in yourself, caring what other people think about your work, to the point where it's stifling your own creativity.
I don't know. Maybe you're like that meme of the guy who's digging, and maybe the gold's right there, and you just keep going.
I think this is a really important message to anyone who's starting to, make videos. That this idea that making videos is easy and anyone can do it and everyone will like what you make is just plain false. And if there's one thing you walk away from this video with, I hope it's that you have to really love what you're doing to make it here.
I want to say that you need to learn how to let yourself breathe, to understand that failure is essential to grow. And if you never take that step, you'll never get up that hill. No problem ever got better by avoiding it. Little by little, we could do what we want. And I really believe that.
Don't worry about not being creative enough. Worry about the fact that you haven't made anything in 4 years.
So I ask you, young people of YouTube, what are you going to do with yourself? What are you going to do to make sure that your life lines up into something that you really, really want it to be?
If you're serious about change, just know you're going to go through some uncomfortable situations. Stop trying to dodge the process, because in the long run, it's going to make you better. And don't forget that shit, you heard?